The Battle Pass. Modern Warfare's newest feature, which going forward for each season looks to be the primary way for players to earn a vast majority of the content added in for free, outside of the shop that is introduced with tomorrow's update for Season 1's kickoff. This is by far what I believe is the most significant of the content that we got to preview early out at Infinity Ward a week ago, and I know that a lot of you guys had some burning questions which I couldn't answer up until right now. And so today, we're going to be breaking down everything that comes along with it and also everything that you need to know come tomorrow so you can hit the ground running with the new content at hand. We've got a lot on deck for the channel, not only here today and what is hopefully 3 videos assuming all things go according to plans, but also tomorrow's update and everything to follow. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't done so already, perhaps if you're a part of that 76% of users who are not, so that you don't miss a single bit of it. And as we go along, let me know your thoughts on anything you may see here during this Battle Pass showcase. But anyways, let's get into it. When you first jump into Season 1's content as of tomorrow, you'll end up noticing there's a new tab on that main menu in your menu selections for Battle Pass. When you go over to this, you'll end up seeing that there's a new little intro sequence and then a screen that overviews what you'll be seeing throughout the Battle Pass. It comes with a couple of bullet points about how it works and what you unlock with the pass, to which it details that Season 1's Battle Pass comes with 100 tiers of exciting content, over 20 tiers that are free to the entire community, and at any time during the season you can upgrade to gain access to all 100 tiers in that Battle Pass if you don't want to do it immediately, and they're unlocked by playing multiplayer or Spec Ops as you normally would. Now, what you unlock, it ends up detailing that you have access to, of course, the free tiers by just playing. Those will be rewarded automatically, but at any point in the season, you can upgrade to gain all 100 tiers, access to that with COD points, which even, as we'll discuss in just a second, give you enough to make that money you put back into the pass, you make that back entirely and then some. On top of the free and the base premium Battle Pass, you can also get a Battle Pass bundle, which will unlock 20 tiers of content immediately. And then upon clearing that, you'll be taken to the next screen, which is just a little bit of a graphic to showcase a lot of what is in the premium Battle Pass and stuff that you end up getting along the way. Some of it is free, some of it is the paid for stuff, but it is stuff that you'll be seeing throughout the Battle Pass and a sort of collage of everything you'll get. Now, throughout not only just the intro of this video, what you'll be seeing in the background now and then throughout some other portions of this is B-roll footage, you'll be seeing what is in the Battle Pass, everything that comes along with it, tiers 1 through 100, and of course those instant access things as well. You end up getting 4 items that are instant access this time around instead of just having to progress only through those tiers. You get a couple of things right up front for simply activating and taking part in the Battle Pass. So for this, of course, you'll see things like your operator skins, you'll see double XP, double weapon XP, you'll see COD points for the first time in Call of Duty history, and a Battle Pass system that we get in-game currency for free like this in the way of actual COD points. Since COD points have been around, we've never had an actual way to earn these. We've had secondary currency like crypto keys, like armory keys and things like that, but we've never actually seen COD points given to us for free for just simply playing. You'll of course see a ton of weapon blueprints here throughout this. You'll see watches, you'll see other stuff like that, and it's a lot of cosmetic stuff. That's one big thing that as we go through this preview, you'll see that a lot of this is simply cosmetic. The only things that are really functional and change gameplay experiences are that of the 2 brand new weapons of the Holger 26 and the Ram 7, both of which though are entirely free. We'll get to how you unlock them and where you unlock them in just a second, but it's definitely something that this is pretty much just extra added bonus stuff for those that are interested in it. You don't need to take part in it. You don't need to pay into it. It's just something that's there for the extra cosmetics and the things that players may be interested in. And we've taken a look at the contents at a glance, but let's break it down a little bit and give you some specific information here with this. Let's talk about firstly the free versus the paid tiers. How does this work? Well, firstly, it's not a dual stream system like we've seen in, say, COD Mobile, Fortnite, and games of the like. It's instead a stream of 100 items with certain items along the way being free. Naturally, if you want to just take part in those free items, you don't have to pay anything, but the cost of the regular Battle Pass is $10 or 1,000 COD points. This gives you access to not only just 20 tiers along that 100 tier grind, but all 100. This option will start you at tier 1, but gives you access, of course, to those 80 other items on top of the 20 you'll already be getting, just for simply playing through it. If you want to take it a step further though, you can get the upgraded Battle Pass, the Battle Pass bundle as mentioned in that little preview text right before you jump into it for the first time. This, to my knowledge, is 2,400 COD points, but it also comes along with 20 tiers of content. So whereas if you buy the premium battle pass and you gain access to all 100 tiers, you start at tier 1. If you buy the battle pass bundle, you start at tier 20. So you save a little bit in terms of if you were to comparatively just buy out tier 1 through 20, but again, that's completely up to the user. Now, suppose you were to just take the free route, or you were supposed to do the paid route. What would you end up getting here for this? At a glance, let's break it down a little bit for this. With the free tiers only, if you progressed through 1 through 100 and only did the free option, you'd end up getting along the way the likes of 2 weapons, thankfully, both of which actually are obtained by tier 31. So it's not the long grind of, say, tier 50 and 100 as of last year, but you get them a lot quicker than, say, 100 hours put into the game. You also along the way get for free 300 COD points, 3 weapon blueprints, and also some smaller cosmetics like weapon charms, emblems, stickers, calling cards, and the like. As for the paid, you end up getting a lot more cosmetic stuff. This is something where, firstly, no weapons are stuck behind the paid version of the battle pass, but you do get things like 18 additional weapon blueprints, 1,000 additional COD points, bring it to 1,300 in total. And again, if you do buy the premium pass, that's 300 more COD points than what you put in. You end up getting 10 additional operator skins, 3 watches, 11 double XP tokens, 7 double weapon XP tokens, and again, the smaller items of like charms, calling cards, emblems, and such. And again, that's on top of everything you get also from the free tiers as well. So how do you rank it up? How do you actually go from tier 1 to 2 to 3 to upwards of 100? Well, from my discussions with Joe Secott while at Infinity Ward, he ended up mentioning that it was through XP if my memory serves me correctly. But it also seems to be tied relatively closely to the 1 tier per hour mark on average, so around 100 hours for 100 tiers. So it seems kind of similar to Black Ops 4 system, but also at the same time, it's not because it's tied to double XP. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't actually verify this. I couldn't actually go in and test everything out here with this because what we had on offer were the upgraded battle passes with some burner accounts that they set up for this specific event, hence why you'll see, and by this time there's probably already a comment or two pointing out the absurd amount of COD points that were on each account there here with this. That's an in-house dev thing. You're absolutely mad if you think I give a shit near enough to put anywhere near a fraction of that amount of money into the game. So the battle passes, the shop, those kind of things were already upgraded, already maxed out, and already on these accounts by the time we sat down under stations before we booted up the game. And even though it's mentioned it's in-house, in dev, no, I don't have access to that account. No, I don't have those COD points. But because of that fact, again, I didn't have the opportunity to sit down, do any testing to say, all right, it's definitely 1 hour per tier, or it's definitely 1 level per tier, so on and so forth. But if I were to guess, I'd be willing to bet that it is closely tied to our rank in game, assuming that, again, your officer ranks 100 levels, 100 tiers. If it's tethered to XP, it seems to work out, doesn't it? Now, what happens whenever you end up hitting tier 100? What happens if you complete it? Is there anything that happens at, say, tier 101? Well, as what we had in-house, in studio, there wasn't anything that happened after tier 100. You were kind of just done. There wasn't anything like Black Ops 4 where you had reserves that you could go into after that and you could still technically earn stuff outside of the main content. And personally, while I think that this might bum some people out, I also think that it's good in the sense that we won't be seeing something that is RNG predicated like Black Ops 4 in any capacity, or at least that we know of so far. Maybe if it would go for, say, a blank slate and then every 5 tiers or something, if it were to be amended in the future, you get 100 COD points, I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't see that happening. And for the time being, there is nothing that happens after tier 100. One thing, though, that doesn't happen is that tier skips, which we'll talk about probably at a later point, maybe tomorrow. Those, if you end up obtaining them, they obviously don't do anything here and they're kind of just wasted. But then after that, while you can still rank up naturally and progress, what if you just want those weapons on day 1? I wouldn't advise it, and we'll get to why in just a second, but you can end up buying the tiers. Each tier in this game, though, isn't what we saw with Black Ops 4, where it was 100 COD points per tier. With Modern Warfare's Battle Pass, it is 150 COD points per tier. So if you were to buy the thing outright, it'd be $150 from tier 1 to 100. And so for that reason, I don't think it's worth it at all. I definitely think that, especially because the weapons are much earlier in the stream, the most time you'll end up having to put in is around 30 hours, which for a whole season is a lot more obtainable than, say, tier 100 like in Black Ops 4. So I wouldn't put that kind of money into it, especially because it's going to refresh. It's going to be something where each season you have that same situation. And of course, because, well, Call of Duty isn't really a lasting thing. A year later, $150 for one stream won't really matter. So if you have the time to play it out. But ultimately, that's kind of everything here with this. A preview of it, how it works, the free versus paid, the rewards at a glance, what you get comparatively, how you progress through, and so on and so forth. But my general thoughts now before we wrap this up is that personally, I quite like this. Like we talked about, there is, of course, nothing here that is really you need to buy into it. It's just cosmetic stuff, something that I think that Black Ops 4 should have done from the very beginning and kept doing throughout the lifespan of that game. Of course, though, some of those things, whether they were out of the hands of Treyarch or what it may be, those circumstances changed between Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare, to which now we have that system that hopefully is what people want. There's a lot of cool things here alongside this. I know you guys have seen some of the footage already here on the channel that showcases some of that. Other stuff comes in the shop, which we'll discuss tomorrow and showcase a lot of the variants between the shop and the battle pass you'll expect to see throughout the entire season, and so on and so forth. But everything here is just optional, additional cosmetic stuff, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I don't know, maybe you guys still don't like it, and again, that's totally fine if so. I just think that coming from where we were with Black Ops 4 to where we are now, I'll take this system any day over top of Black Ops 4's. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Want to get your thoughts and feedback down in the comment section down below, so let me know your thoughts down there. Are you guys a fan of this battle pass system? Are you a fan of the rewards? Are you a fan of whatever it may be? Feel free to let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video though, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare and all things Season 1. We're gonna kill it here with the content coming up, so stick around on the channel if you guys are new and interested in any of that. And if you want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Probably live on both those, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But that said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.